And as the trucks begin to pull out, it's time now to get ready for Grand National Sport Truck action, heat race number 1. And let's set the starting grid for you. On the front row in the Nissan, it'll be Roger Mears, a great qualifying performance. Right alongside will be Rob McCachran in the Ford Rough Rider. This is a definite critical situation for him. He's got a good starting position. There are the two Toyotas in row number 2. Rod Millen and Ivan Stewart, the teammates, will be right in front of Rick Johnson and Jimmy Johnson. That's the duo representing Chevy Thunder. Jerry Welcho in the other Ford and Roger in the Nissan round out the field. Green flag flies and we are underway. And you can see the starter moving out of the way quickly. And oh, what a shot by Rod Millen as he moves up on the inside. And Roger Mears has opened the door for him, heading down into turn number 2. And Mears goes up on the bicycle and has to get out of it. And boy, that pole position has now turned into last place.
Well, it's a shame to get that car hiked up like that. He did a job of saving it. You know what? If he'd have rolled it over, on over, they'd have probably restarted the whole race.
That's true, so it ends up being a disadvantage. Now, let's set it for you. You got Rod Millen right there in your screen. He's come through turn 4 cleanly for the first time, and he's opened up about a 7-truck length lead over second place, Rob McCachran in the Ford. Then in third place, it's Ivan Stewart in the Toyota and Ricky Johnson in the Chevrolet. And this is exactly what we were talking about before this race started, Walker, that Rob McCachran, Ricky Johnson, they've got to get in front of those Toyotas.
Well, they certainly are working. They realize that. They're driving their hearts out. I mean, I just saw McCachran make a heck of a move right there. Made the double-double really look good.
Down through this very treacherous rhythm section, McCachran getting a little more aggressive through there, and he is closing the door on Rod Millen.
And look at Ricky Johnson puts it right into the side of Ivan Stewart.
Yeah, the battle for third is really starting to heat up. Stewart on the outside. There you see him on the left-hand portion of your screen. He manages to hold on to the position. We'll still have the same 4. It'll be Millen, McCachran, and the battle for third between Ivan Stewart and Ricky Johnson.
Ricky Johnson has given Ivan all he wants. I'll tell you, Ivan is driving hard.
What it's allowed Rob McCachran. Oh, McCachran on the bicycle, and he's going to go over. Full course yellow, and we'll slow things down and re-rack them. So there, another mistake, unfortunately, for Rob McCachran. He couldn't save it. He got real aggressive. We talked about that entry into turn 4, and it did. It came to bite him.
It bit him, and it bit him good. Now it puts the Ford over, and it's definitely going to be out of contention for this one.
Okay, let's set it for you now. We're getting ready to go green again. It's Rod Millen, Ivan Stewart. The Toyotas run and 2. The Chevrolets of Rick and Jimmy Johnson 3 and 4. And on the restart, boy, a great shot by Rod Millen. He opens up about 2 truck lengths over his Toyota teammate down into turn 2. Rick Johnson gives a little love tap to Ivan Stewart as they go through 2. Ivan a little high over that set of jumps, and now into turn number 3, a hard 180-degree left-hander. Ricky Johnson trying to look inside of Ivan Stewart for second, can't do it. Will everybody get brave again? No. Staying a little on the calmer side down into turn number 4. On board now with Rod Millen. Boy, what a great view. Look at that banking as he comes through turn number 1.
Well, that sure allows a lot more speed, I'll tell you. That Toyota comes off there with a high rate of speed.
Down into turn number 2, the glare of the sun. That'll go away as the evening progresses. There's the look at third and fourth. That's the Chevrolet contingent, Rick and Jimmy Johnson. No relation. Back up front to the leaders. Rod Millen. Oh, Millen gets a little high, manages to make a nice recovery down into 4, and Ivan Stewart closes the gap. And another love tap from Rick Johnson on Ivan.
That's just to let Ivan know he's
So far, the top 4 have not changed since the rollover by Rob McCachran, and McCachran is still at the back of this pack. This is really going to hurt McCachran in the points chase. A again, look at the way these trucks are getting sideways. This is one of the most difficult rhythm sections, both lengths of this track for these trucks.
Out of all the 5 tracks, this is definitely the toughest for the rhythm section. If the truck doesn't hit it absolutely perfect, the nose either goes to the sky or the bumper hooks into the dirt.
White flag lap. It's going to be a shootout for second place. Rick Johnson's got the inside line on Ivan Stewart. The battle is for second. Can Ricky Johnson take the position away? You've got Ron Millen, and Ricky has moved ahead of Ivan Stewart. Can he hold the position? He's got it. Great move by Rick Johnson to take over second. Now, not enough time to catch Rod Millen unless he makes a big mistake going into this final section. It's Millen first, Rick Johnson second, Ivan Stewart third, and Jimmy Johnson fourth. Oh, and Rod gets a little high, and he gets bumped by the number 2 of Ricky Johnson, but no damage done. The checkered flag will fall. Rod Millen first, Rick Johnson second, Ivan Stewart third, Jimmy Johnson will take home fourth. So, Rob McCachran and Jerry Welchel in the Ford Rough Riders will be on the front row. In row number 2, it'll be the 2 Nissans of Roger Mears Sr. and Jr. Sr. in the 5, Jr. in the 6. Then it'll be Jimmy Johnson in the Chevrolet alongside Ivan Stewart in the Toyota. And then Rick Johnson, who finished second in heat race number 1, will be alongside our winner of heat 1, Rod Millen. All right, as we get ready for the start of this race, Walker, we've talked about it so many times. This definitely now, Rob McCachran with the pole has to win this heat race. Well, definitely the pressure's on, and I'll tell you, if he ever drove a smooth race, now's the time to do it. Bill Rickey waves the green flag, and we are underway with heat race number 2. Boy, Ron Millen got a great start all the way from the back. He's already picked off 3 vehicles. Millen just shot out of a cannon. He's up to 3rd already. Wow, that outside line has been fantastic for the number 1 of Rod Millen. He started dead last in this field. Well, he's using the outside line, and it's just sticking. The Toyota is just moving out there. Gets a little sideways now, and that allows Roger Mears Jr. to take over. Look at the onboard view. You can see him battling with Roger Mears Jr. for 3rd. He's now in 4th. Let's set it for you. It is Rob McCachran well out in front of his teammate Jerry Welchel. 3rd place, the battle you see right there. The number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. and the number 1 of Ivan Stewart. Guess who is dead last in this field right now? The number 2 of Ricky Johnson. He can't afford that. He's one that needs those points just as bad as Rob McCachran. There is the Rough Rider, Rob McCachran from Las Vegas, Nevada. Started his career parking cars at a valet at one of the casinos. He's now racing for his Drivers' Championship life. He needs this win. Well, he's definitely not parking that Ford right now, Marty. He's on the gas. He's doing a good job. He's driving it smooth. No real chances, but there's no pressure on him. And Jerry Welchel now, team tactics. Oh, and Rod Millen gets on the hydro barrier. And that holds up teammate Ivan Stewart. Jimmy Johnson then gets side by side with Stewart. You see him walking away from you there. And it is still Rod McCachran, then Jerry Welchel, then the number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. Millen manages to hold on to 4th. Stewart is 5th. Jimmy Johnson is 6th. Rick Johnson 7th. Roger Mears Sr. is dead last. Every time I stood on the gas and I was on the hydro barrier, I wound up on the lid. He pulled it off. Rod Millen definitely pulled it off. A nice move to recover and maintain his 4th position. There you saw McCachran. There's Jerry Welchel. Now, if you're Welchel, you've got to make that Ford as wide as you can for your teammate. Well, it looks like that's what he's doing, and he is doing a good job. I'll tell you, Roger Mears is trying to get by him. Junior is, that is. I am really amazed that Rick Johnson has not been able to get around not only his teammate, as we're on board again with Rod Millen, but he can't get close to the Toyota. That's the view as the gap has widened back from 3rd to 4th. The car in front of Rod Millen is the number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. That is his next target. Got a little sideways over the rhythm section. Now, here we go down into that real tough entry into turn number 4. You mess this up, you go on your lid. Well, as Rob McCachran knows, he is being a little more cautious on that corner. There's no doubt about it. That's what cost McCachran so dearly back in heat race number 1. There is the battle. Oh, no! There's the door. It's open. Yeah. And Welchel loses the position. The number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. Now we'll see just how much horsepower Jr. can muster. And Rod Millen tries to run
down
inside.
in here and says, well, if you want to open the door, let me have some of it.
But Jerry Welchel shuts it again, and now it's going to force Millen on the outside. And here comes Ivan on the inside. It's going to be a Toyota sandwich, and Ford's the meat.
But Ivan just put one right on Rod Millen right there.
So now let's set it for you. Rob McCachran is running away. Just what he has to do. He's in first. Second place is Roger Mears Jr. Third place is Jerry Welchel. Fourth is Ivan Stewart. Rod Millen has dropped back 2 positions.
Something I ought to add, too, is Roger Mears, something's gone wrong with his car. He can't make it get around the corner. He's got a flat tire on the left front. There are other problems, too.
The battle right now, you're on board with Rod Millen. Look at the view that Millen has as he gets pushed way to the outside. The white flag lap. Rob McCachran, 1 lap to go. Junior is in second. Third is Jerry Welchel. There goes fourth place. The battle between Ivan Stewart and Jimmy Johnson. The fifth place battle. And then sixth is a battle for Rod Millen and Rick Johnson. And boy, Johnson needs to get around those 2 Toyotas desperately.
Well, he made a daring move right down here. He jumped really high. I thought he was going to land right in the bed of Ivan.
Well, Ivan Stewart putting on a battle with Jerry Welchel. There is your leader coming straight at you. Second place, Roger Mears Jr. The winner in a must-win situation and a pressure cooker, Rob McCachran. Second place is going to be Roger Mears Jr. Here comes third. Jerry Welchel holds on. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll talk to our winner, Rob McCachran. Lake City for Mickey Thompson, Stadium Off-Road Racing. Let's go to pit lane. Mike Hansen.
Rob McCachran, you had to pull one out, and you did it.
Right, Ford truck ran really good tonight. First heat, we had a few little problems. Other than that, everything's going really good. Hopefully we get a good starting position here for the main event and put this thing in the winner's circle. We really want to put this Ford there and gain some points up on the Toyota. So everything's looking good tonight for the Venable Racing team.
That's it from the Ford pits. Marty, back to you.
Well, thanks, Mike. And, you know, it's always interesting to take the viewers behind the scenes and watch these crews work on these vehicles between rounds, Walker, because there's a lot that happens back in the pits.
Well, there certainly is. Each mechanic has his area of this truck to look at. Here we are looking at some suspension, making sure nothing is loose, nothing is broke. After all, this truck was put through a heck of a punishment just moments ago.
Checking the tire there to see if there's any cuts. That would indicate some rubbing from either the body or some suspension pieces. And again, going over this side of the vehicle as well, looking for any sharp edges or anything that is loose.
Well, here we are under the hood. Now we're taking a look around under the suspension area near the drive shaft, just making sure it's ready to go again.
Now, every single nut and bolt on this machine is retightened, correct?
Well, they certainly are at least checked. Here we got the drive shaft off, which indicates to me we're going to be making a gear change, perhaps.
And again, going through each part of the suspension, making sure everything's tightened down as they move from one side of the vehicle to the other. Takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And boy, when there has to be a major change like a complete motor, these guys are really scrambling. Our camera wouldn't even be close to that because they'd be afraid of getting run over.
Well, you know what happens in the afternoon? The track gets a little more tackier, the sun goes down, the weather changes, and look at here, we are making a gear ratio change.
And then that leads to changing the groove on the tires. Looks like they're taking out some side bites.
Well, it certainly does. They don't want that car to hike up.
So the cutter there, actually a very hot device. You don't want to get your fingers on it. Can take them right off. Let's take a look at the starting grid for the 12-lap main event. On the front row, it'll be the Mears gang. Roger Jr. alongside his father, Roger Sr. In row 2, Rick Johnson, Rob McCachran. They have to be right where they are because they're in front of row number 3, the 2 Toyotas of Ivan Stewart and Rod Millen. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Welchel round out the field. Now let's take a look at the Grand National Sport Truck point standings. Rod Millen on top of his teammate by 15. A must-win situation for Rob McCachran and Rick Johnson in 3rd and 4th. There is the list, 5th through 8th. As we're ready to go racing, we're going to sit back and let you watch this first turn. The race is on, and it is now up. And again, Rod Millen on the outside, Walker, is trying to make that lunge from the 3rd row all the way back, and he gets driven into the hydro barrier.
That's right, and that's how you lose tires and they're unable to finish a main event when you get driven into the barriers like that.
So you're saying he needs to be... Oh, and Rick Johnson gets spun around. Oh, what a disaster for Chevrolet and Rick Johnson.
Well, it certainly is. He did not need that. Now he's got to back up. He's going to come out of here dead last.
That is Roger Mears Jr., and he is shot out like a cannon. Ivan Stewart is in second. Third is Jimmy Johnson. Roger Sr. is in fourth. And then the battle for fifth is between Rod Millen, and he has just moved in front of Rob McCachran.
And we have seen Roger Mears sit on the pole and drive away in a lot of these races already and win these main events in this season.
And Junior, the problem with Junior today has been his truck has been misfiring badly. They must have found something because he is doing a superb job. Now, Ivan Stewart, there you saw the battle for second place. Stewart pulls his way past the youngster, Jimmy Johnson. You're on board with Rod Millen. Millen is currently running in fifth.
And we've got a penalty. Somebody's going to the penalty box. I don't know if it's Jimmy or if it was Ivan.
And Ivan and Jimmy get into each other again.
So we got, watch this.
There is a penalty. I think it's going to be on Ivan Stewart. I don't think he did not respond to it. We'll keep our eyes on this. You're on board with Rod Millen. That is Roger Sr. right in front. There's your leader, Roger Mears Jr. Now, he has got a huge lead. There's nobody that's going to catch him unless we get a full course yellow or he breaks. Roger Mears Sr. is now second. Rod Millen has moved to third. Fourth is Rob McCachran. And Ivan Stewart has been given the penalty flag.
This time he probably saw it. So we'll see if he pulls into the penalty box.
So right now, the two Nissans are running 1-2, and Junior is well out in front.
Yep, he's headed
Ivan Stewart is heading for the penalty box. The Triton penalty box is right there. A 5 count. He loses about 3 positions. He's dead last.
Well, he's dead last.
So now Iron Man Ivan Stewart has got to work his way back. The battle that is really interesting now is for third place on the racetrack. Rod Millen. There comes Ivan past Jerry Welchel. Rod Millen is holding off Rob McCachran. Meanwhile,
I think there's a right front flat on Welcho's little Ford.
This is your leader, Roger Mears Jr. Now, he has had just an abysmal season. I mean, he is currently 6th in the points with 163. This would be such a turnaround for him.
Let me make a statement right now that they're fighting so hard in the backfield that Roger Jr. is even having his own way on the track. You notice that? Both Bud trucks are just right out there driving their own type racing.
Yeah, right now the battle, there it is for third place. It is Rod Millen, then Rob McCachran, and then Jimmy Johnson. Those guys have been leaning on each other hard. It has allowed the two Mears, Junior and Senior, to run away and sort of get a hide on, especially Junior. He is long gone, and Senior has about a 3-truck length lead.
Don't go anywhere. We'll take you to the checkered flag right after this. Marty Reed, Walker Evans, and Mike Anson with you at Rice Stadium, Salt Lake City, Utah. We're winding the laps down here in Grand National main event action.
There is Roger Mears Sr. He is second. There is third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, it's tightened up. They sort of reeled in Roger Sr. Millen gets a love tap from McCachran.
I don't know if he wanted it.
Boy, that treacherous entry into turn 4. They all make it through safely one more time. We'll tell you, as you watch this battle, that's third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, and Jimmy Johnson is inside of Rob McCachran.
What a move Jimmy has put on Rob McCachran. Now, if he can just make it stick, hold it on the... And he does. And he has.
So now there is second place, Roger Mears Sr., then Rod Millen, then Jimmy Johnson is fourth, fifth is Rob McCachran, sixth is Rick Johnson, and seventh is Ivan Stewart. There's Jimmy Johnson and Rob McCachran. That's third and fourth. Rod Millen has now opened up a sizable lead over Jimmy Johnson. So it is a huge runaway for Roger Mears Jr. Sr. is second. There's Rod Millen. If Millen gets ahead of Roger Mears Sr., and where Rob McCachran and Rick Johnson are right now, he has put almost a virtual stranglehold on the point championship.
On it, yes. If he gets by Roger, yes, he's about got a lock on it.
Here is the battle.
At the war.
Look at Rob McCaffrey coming down on Jimmy Johnson. Oh, now we're back over to Rod Millen. There is the best battle. Oh, and McCaffrey gets into the hydro barrier. That's going to cost him. He loses about 5 truck lengths.
Well, Jimmy and Rob McCaffrey are duking it out and banging their cars together, and everybody's just really running away. And Roger gets sideways, allowing Millen to pull right down on him.
There's your leader, Roger Mears Jr. No full course yellows. That's the best thing news that he could have had. He has driven a spectacular race. Second and third is still Roger Mears Sr.
And something has just blown up on Roger's car.
Senior has lost his second motor.
Yeah.
He lost one in practice, and he has lost his second motor. That means Rod Millen is now in second place.
And look at the points that he has gained tonight.
Ivan Stewart is well back. Rob, let's set it for you. It is Roger Mears Jr. first. The white flag is coming out. There is Jimmy Johnson and Rob McCaffrey duking it out. Second place is Rod Millen. Third is Jimmy Johnson. Soon to be McCaffrey. McCaffrey's moved into third. Then it is Ivan Stewart in fifth and Ricky Johnson in sixth. And 3 abreast down the front straightaway.
Jimmy, I think, won it.
Jimmy Johnson regains third place.
He came across, he pulled it out. Now if he can just make this corner.
Boy, what a tangle here.
A war.
Here comes your winner to the finish line.
There.
Roger Mears Jr. takes the win. Now the battle for third. Second place is going to be Rod Millen. It is third place to Jimmy Johnson right now. Fourth to Rob McCaffrey. Fifth to Ivan Stewart. Sixth to Ricky Johnson. This is all important points. McCaffrey gets tough from behind. And it will be Stewart finishing in front of Rick Johnson. So a big win there for Roger Mears Jr. as he pulls into victory lane. Rod Millen, what a blow to both Rob McCaffrey and Ricky Johnson. Stay with us. We'll talk to our winner after this. The main event of round number 5 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Series is over. Let's go trackside with Joe Benson. Joe?
Woo! This is great.
Say it's not a birthday present if you have to work that hard for it.
Dad was back there making it easy for me. I thought we were going to get a 1-2, but didn't happen.
So you had to watch to make sure nothing went wrong with what you were driving and didn't run anything along the way.
That's right. There's a lot of stuff to run into out there.
It was a pretty tight race behind you, too. A lot of jamming going on. You don't think about that, though, when you're leading, do you?
Well, you do, as long as you can watch them down the back straightaway while you're going the other way.
You think your stock car driving helped you out any in that bank turn?
Oh, yeah.
Hang the tail end out like that.
Yeah, I tell you what, thank goodness for all you Salt Lake citizens. Glad you're here, and I was glad to pull one off for you.
Well, congratulations, Roger Mears Jr. And as we look at the driver's standings, you can see it's now basically a 2-man battle between Rod Millen and Ivan Stewart. So for Walker Evans and Mike Anson, I'm Marty Reed as we take a look down through the 5th through 8th positions. Thanks for joining us on round number 5 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Series. There you see the Manufacturers' Points Championship. Toyota, not a mathematical lock, but they're in control with 2 races left. If you're going to be with us at October 1st in Sam Boyd's Silver Bowl, that's in Las Vegas, Nevada, we want to see you there. And then round number 7, October 8th, a week later at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. Round 5 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Series has been brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. This has been a presentation of Mars Incorporated in association with ESPN.